What's up, people? Merry Super Bowl. How'd everybody do? Just want to equate something with sports gambling and the stock market like I always like to do. First of all, congratulations to the Saints. And once again, Peyton Manning. And as sad as it is, and I like to be a part of something great. I like when there's dominance. I like to know that 20 years when I'm talking to my friends and say that we lived through some of the greatest sports moments. I love when Tiger Woods wins every tournament, and I like when there's dominance. I wanted to see Peyton Manning rise up and take away that stigma that's plagued him in his whole career, that he can't win the big game, that he chokes, all that stuff. Now, you know how I love to gamble, okay? Now, I like to bet first half, second half, and with the Super Bowl, you can bet anything you want. I'm not going to go out there and tell you that I won a lot of money this weekend because I really wasn't comfortable betting on this game because I could have seen it going either way. But what I like to do is what I thought was that Peyton Manning would come out and the Saints would be nervous in the first half, and then who knows what was going to happen in the second half. So I took the Colts to win the first half of the ball game, and it was looking good there. But what was happening was that there were omens. When the Colts went down to their first drive and they only came away with a field goal, omen number one that this might be one of those games where they might be dominating, but yet they failed to score. And then when the score was only 10-0, and then when the Saints were only able to score a few field goals there were lots of omens. Omens like drop passes. Omens like not making any big plays. There were certain signs written on the wall. Now, going into the second half, and let me talk about smart money and money on the sideline equation. When the lines first opened up and it quickly jumped from 4.5 to 5.5, which is a pretty big move, people think the first money is the smart money. In my opinion, the smart money is the late money. The first money is the degenerate gamblers who can't wait to get their bets in. They see the line, they want to bet the Colts, they like the favorite. This is going to be Peyton Manning's year. This is going to put him over the top. This is going to solidify him as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And I was all with that, okay? But after watching the game, I was thinking there was too many omens, too many drop passes. This game should have been a little bit, the Colts should have been having a better time and an easier time with this team. So what I did was I took the Colts in the first half, and I was going to take the Saints in the second half, but I said, you know what, let me just hang on to this money. And then what I saw was, at the beginning of the game, the late money, because the original line with the Colts was 5.5, next thing you know it's 5, then it went to 4.5. So the smart money, in my opinion, is the last guys who are putting their bets in, making sure that nobody knows what they're doing, waiting to the last second to get that money in, the smart money. And that drove the line down. So right there, that was omen number 2, that the Saints were going to have a good time in this game. Now, this was a good game. It could have went either way. But I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you didn't lose any money on this game. But all the trends of Peyton Manning's career basically came out, and it all worked out just like that. So I could tell you a little bit about all the money that my friends lost and all that stuff. But I want to talk about one thing. Let's talk about it. Let's forget about all the drop passes and forget about how there was no penalties called when there should have been penalties. And we could talk about, drop passes, and we could talk about key plays that didn't happen or did happen. But what I want to talk about is what I witnessed as soon as the game was over and the Saints were champions. They cut to Bourbon Street, and the first image that you saw, it wasn't just the people partying. It wasn't people going out of their minds. It was a guy on a horse, 2 mounted policemen trying to keep order on Bourbon Street. And this cop basically reached down off his horse, which was taking a tremendous amount of effort. You could see the guy was struggling to grab this one kid because he really wanted to talk to him. So this mounted guy was ready to jump off his horse to grab this guy to get him under control. That's the first image I saw of New Orleans. That's my bachelor party for you, because that's where I had my bachelor party. And that's great. It's great. It's a great image to show. The first thing you see when you cut to New Orleans is a mounted cop trying to knock the shit out of some kid who's partying a little bit too hard. It's like LA all over again. I wonder if they're going to burn the town down again. Oh, wait, there's nothing left to burn in New Orleans. So I guess enjoy themselves, have a good time. Maybe this will bring some national attention because, hey, you know what? We know the tragedy in Haiti and all the tragedies around the world and all the different places that we send help and send money to, and we're bailing out this bank and doing that and sending all this cash. You realize we still have a third world nation living in our own country, and that's New Orleans. You still haven't built that place up. They're still living in rubble. They're still living in ruins. So please, maybe this will bring some light upon that subject, that we haven't even solved that problem yet. Maybe we should dedicate maybe just a little, a fart in the wind kind of money to try to fix up New Orleans a little bit more and give them a little bit something to celebrate other than a Super Bowl championship. Maybe bring the town back up to its old stature. That being said, it was a good time, and I'm glad everybody had a good time in my at my party. We all, except for the money that was lost. Luckily, I stayed out of the bet. What I did like, it was the over/under on the field goals. Thank you to my new favorite player, the Saints field goal kicker, knocking them in from everywhere you put them. But then again, of course, I feel bad that most of the guys that I know took Peyton Manning and thought he was going to come out firing again in the second half, and I don't know, I just didn't feel it because they didn't have that look, and there was too many drop passes. So let's go to the market right now. So we can get to the market. Now, you all know about me and all the tragedy that surrounds me. Now, you know that I was headed out and there was a storm coming, and I had to go down to Atlantic City. So of course my wife, we had to leave, and I agreed. I was like, all right, listen, what's going to happen on Friday? Maybe I can leave at 2:30, 3 o'clock to ensure that I get down the shore before this storm kicks in. But then I saw the market was getting hammered, and next thing you know, I'm looking to buy some stocks. And I was in the chat room. I told you, listen, I just tried to buy some Broadcom. I tried to buy 2,000 shares, and I got 100 shares of my order done. When your orders don't get filled, I know everybody wants to try to pick a bottom and try to play a squeeze. When the market's been going down, you're trying to get in there, you're trying to look at some stocks that you want to pick a spot on. Here's how you know you're going to have a good trade. When you put an order, let's say for 1,000 shares, and you get 100 shares, or you put an order in for 5,000 shares, and you get 200 shares, and next thing you know, the stock spurts, and you only got a couple of hundred shares of a trade that you were ready to load up on. You know you're going to have a winning trade there, and you know you've got your bottom. When your execution is done, boom, you get 3,000 shares at a limit price, you got to be worried because someone's out there going, yeah, here, take these shares. Go ahead. I'll even fill you at all at the same price. But when I tried to buy 4,000 shares of Digital Globe, when it broke 22, then 21 and a half, I missed that spike down, which was a blip on the chart. If you look at it, that wasn't a real print. But that was the moment when I was trying to buy the stock at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, and got into the chat room. I was like, hey, listen, we're going to have a rally in this Digital Globe. I tried to buy 4,000 shares. I got 0. And the stock spurted 20 cents, sat around. Of course, I could have chased the stock up 20 cents, but buying 4,000 shares, the stock's already moved up 20 cents. That's the whole trade for me. I didn't expect the stock and the whole market to explode there at the end, but that's what happened. So I was in the chat room, and as much as I was saying how I like to be short, and I want to stay short because uncertainty has gripped the market right now, there are trades to be done. And that was one of them. And I said into the chat, I was like, listen, we're going to rally because I didn't get any stock done. And Broadcom proceeded to be one of the best stocks of the day. And, of course, Digital Globe reversed and had a sick move. So that's that. So you got to come to the chat room. It's free. You get your own page. Come to hitthebid.com. It's a lot of fun. And this week I'm thinking we're going to have some new guests coming on and doing the news. Hopefully they come back this week. We'll see what happens. And we'll just play it by ear today. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm definitely not trading till 10:20, 10:30. That's been a good way of staying calm. Just wait till the noise of the opening just dissipates and then look for your entries. Yeah, you'll miss some crazy movers in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the day, but you know what? There'll always be something. You never go running after a trade, and don't make a trade unless it's coming to you. Don't search for something just because you need to trade, because that's being a degenerate.
Your mother likes it.